ain't getting nothing for free.
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, The Business, coming back at you live for The Business. Let's be real. Episode 7 brings to you TJ Alcock and Brook Alcock from TBA Marketing and the Frick Frack Paddy Wack show. Super excited to have them on tonight. Really have known TJ and Brook for a long time, about 18, 19 years we've known each other. So I've been able to see the growth of this young man and his wife throughout the throughout life, and just kind of been able to watch, what they've been able to produce. And it's been a great show to watch, and super happy for them on what they've been able to achieve, both professionally and personally. Super happy that I was able to catch them on a week off, which really isn't a week off for them ever, because they're always super busy, always going at it, hustling. Two of the hardest working people I've ever met. And so happy that I was able to bring them on for tonight's show, so I'll go ahead and get them in here. And for that, The Business, Let's Be Real, episode 7 begins now. What's up, TJ? Welcome back, everyone, to The Business. Let's be real. I just want to welcome my guest, TJ Alcock. TJ, how you feeling tonight, man? Hold on a second. I got you. There you go. I think you're good now.
All right, I'm here.
Okay. No, you're good. Good to see you. Happy that you were able to come on. Like I said, I know you guys are busy. I was just watching your show just Thursday night, so I know you guys are continuing your show going and working all the time. Raising time. So I know you guys are super busy all the time, man. So,
Brook's over there finishing up bath time right now and wrapping it up. He's looking at me like, "Why is there a studio light on in the kitchen?" Yeah,
I get it. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, and I know Brook's handling business right now, so when she's capable, we'll bring her in and she can chat at us as well, so
yeah, she'll jump over in a little bit. I was gonna come on the show and be like, DJ Buddha.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was saying at the beginning, like I've known this guy for 18, 19 years. We've seen a lot of each other, man. We've seen a lot of the growth with each other. So
unfortunately, the last 5-7 years or so, a lot of it's been digitally and virtually, but just
which is some of the good things about social media. I know social media is getting a bad rap right now, but it is making us be able to always catch up and keep up with our people.
100%.
One of the benefits of what social media is and what it has been able to bring to us. So
what it was supposed to be about. It's about watching your families grow up together, keeping up with your family and your friends, and man, I hope life gets back to that someday soon.
Yeah. And I think it will. I hope it does too. I hope it doesn't, continue on the streak it's on, and the world as itself. You and I've talked about it before. I was lucky enough to come on your guys' show back in August, and we chatted about a little bit about the world of today and how people need an outlet. You know what I mean? And at the time, sports wasn't going on or anything, so we were like begging for something to come back. Like, please, we need something.
Give me anything. Give me it. I clicked over to ESPN, the ESPN channels today. Disc golf was on. Disc golf. I'm like, whatever, they're giving us some sort of sports to watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, luckily the NFL playoffs are still on. My Brownies were still in it, but unfortunately they lost today. So
yeah, they did get a beating down. And it wasn't really a beating down. It was still a good game.
It was a good game. It was a good game.
Man, the Chiefs are incredible. So they're typically Super Bowl bound in the last few years, backed by Mahomes. I saw a toe injury to Mahomes.
Well, he got a toe injury earlier in the game, and then they put him through concussion protocol later in the game. He took a pretty good hit, kind of got rolled up and got up kind of funny. So they took him back to the back, and Chad Henne came in. Your old Dolphin came in. He finished off the game for them.
Yep, I saw that. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, whatever. And sucks to see the Browns lose. I really wanted them to. I mean, maybe this is as far as they were supposed to go, but I really wanted to see them in the Super Bowl. for good old Deuce and you and
Oh yeah,
and the crew. There's a lot
good
of
story too. It's one of those.
yes.
They haven't had their chance yet, and it would have been cool. But hopefully, this makes them hungry for the future, and makes them want to. Now they've gotten a little taste of it. Maybe they want more, and what I mean.
They had some incredible signings that they did. So they had a ton of pickups this year. The team gelled with the proper motivation, and just you could tell that the guys were they're getting it and getting along and making things happen. And I love
fun, which is
I love to watch.
When you're having fun doing what you do for a living, shit.
Yep, I love to watch a team grow like that. That's awesome, super awesome.
All right, dude. Well, I wanted to kind of bring you in and kind of talk about the marketing side of things. I know, I have some questions that I would like to just know little things about. I know there's some people out there that maybe are trying to market their business or market themselves, trying to find somebody maybe that could help them. And I know you can do that. So it's like I wanted to kind of bring you on. Talk about that. Start from the beginning. Was gonna discuss how you originally started to find like marketing as what you wanted to do for a living. I know you went to school for it and you got from USF, but was there something key maybe that when you were younger, because I know you're very tech savvy, you're very good with computers and stuff, something when you were younger that probably kind of pushed you in that direction that made you know that marketing was going to be profitable?
No, it really it wasn't so much marketing. It was web design. I have built websites since I was 15 years old. And even before that, when I was 9, I started taking computers apart and putting them back together because it's computers. So it was a simple piece of, I was doing hardware stuff like, oh, let me see if I take out the fan and then I put the fan back together and then you plug it in. Oh, look, the fan works. And just a kid learning a computer. And then when I was 18 and going to USF, I built my first computer. Bought all the parts, put it all together, built my first computer. But I had been building web design, doing web design all throughout that. So most of my stuff, especially like school, was music. I started at USF for music, and I did take some business classes and things like that. But my entire focus was music. And then because I play, obviously, that I play in a band. For those out there that don't know, I play trombone and baritone in a band. I've played baritone since I was 9 years old. I toured for 3 seasons doing drum and bugle corps. So, I mean, everything with me was music. It really didn't end up moving into marketing until when I moved to Lakeland to GM with Dad at Winter Circle. That's where the marketing side kicked in, and it was promoting all the bands and the comedy acts that were coming through. That was the main shift. College was all about music and partying.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the good thing is like you were very gifted at it with the web designing, so you knew how to market on that side of things.
Yeah.
Plus, you've always been a good talker, and you're very sociable, and you're easy to talk to about things. So I think that that was always something that was good for you. And Brook's the same way. You guys are both very, very, very personable people that people can get to know very easily. It's like
Sure.
you're not a closed book. You're talking about where it is.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, and I think that's always been big. I know that when we first started off with Winter Circle back in the day, you were running the website and running pretty much 99% of the promoting and stuff, and we're getting out there and beating the streets and going to this bar and going to that bar and telling people like, come here, come see us, come, come for the comedy acts, come for the bands, like we're watching these games, we have these pay-per-views, come, so
and a lot of that was us just having fun because we were, it'll be our group of friends.
Be doing it anyway.
Right. And that was the biggest thing.
Like, we're gonna be doing this anyway, so you guys might want to just come and join us and have some fun too.
Yeah. And that was one of the biggest things, is that we were able to go downtown and be real with people and just have some fun and goof off and have some drinks and try it. We were the ones, because Dad wouldn't go anywhere else. We were the ones that would go down and we'd go other places and support other places and things like that. And and I loved live music side of things. So when we were bringing in bands and whatever, that was it was always nice to be able to hey, come check us out. Come perform at our place. We had a lot of fun back in those days, obviously.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Now I know you both are have about 20 years experience in the business with both businesses, sports, and entertainment, like marketing. Can you reflect on some of the early businesses, like some of the early projects and business adventures you went with after, I guess, when TBA started? Because you and I mean, we kind of got to know each other back in '02, I want to say. And I want to say in '05, you guys started to put together, TBA Marketing at that time. And then, what were some of those early projects that you guys were working on to kind of kick off, TBA?
Yeah. So once Brook graduated from UT, and it was about, let's see, in '05, we actually established TBA, but it was TBA Productions, because what we were doing is putting on live music shows at additional venues. We kind of, Winter Circle, I think it went into, maybe it was '05, '06, Winter Circle, it went into the second, then the third location. And after the second location, I had moved over to strictly booking and marketing. And then in the third location was the hotel, and we were only booking comedy. So I did live music up at Doc's Place and Mojo's, and there were a couple other places in town that we were putting live music shows on and routing tours and things like that. So we were TBA Productions doing live music, comedy, and the bikini contests, and rocking all of those. And it was just, we were a production company. I had a full sound system set up, and we were a turnkey production company. So we brought our productions to the business and brought them more business. They gave us a little bit of marketing money. We spent a lot of our own money that we shouldn't have. But we were a production company and did that. And then because of that, we got approached by the XFC. And that led us into the XFC.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the XFC. That's kind of my next topic, was kind of talking about, when, because I know you guys got into the XFC in 2006. And at that time, it was more of the, the marketing team side of things that you guys were doing at first. And then you guys ended up being able to partner in to XFC and kind of just, I guess, talk about some of the experiences you went through with trying to promote a mixed martial art and some of the difficulties in it and what you guys were able to achieve, because XFC really came along fast, like a hurricane. Had some good fighters, had some great promotions, was traveling all over the place. Had started, I want to say, just in Tampa, and was pretty much promoted out of Tampa, correct?
Yep.
And then you guys were able to really help blow this thing up and make it what it was. So if you could kind of go into some detail about XFC when you guys came up with that.
So with our the marketing side of things and the production side of things, XFC saw a lot of the things that we were doing, and they wanted to pick up a Polk County to Orlando market. They had the Tampa market solid. They were bringing in 13,000, 15,000 people to the forum. So they really wanted to pick up and move to the rest of Central Florida. They had done one show in Tennessee, and I think one show in North Carolina, maybe shoot two shows in Tennessee. And they knew they were going to go back to those key cities, but they wanted to grow more of a Florida following. So we became the Central Florida street team. So we hit every restaurant and every sports bar and every gas station we could come across going down I-4 into Orlando, deep into Orlando, and passing out, here's a free demo disc to check out the XFC. Here's a couple posters, and here's, 20 tickets to the next fight if you can make it to it. Once we built that up, they started moving us in, and they said, you know what, you guys are doing a killer job. We actually aren't. We're looking to replace our marketing person and our web design person. You guys are perfect for that. So Brook will come in on the marketing side, TJ will co on the marketing side, TJ will come in on the web design side, and then co. You guys can kind of swap, and just, we create our own communications division, so to speak, inside of the company. So we came aboard with that full time. I forget which year, because we were with the XFC for nearly 10 years. So we came along with that, and I think it was right around XFC 10. And then we basically made them the biggest promotion in the state. We were on Access TV, which was HDNet, and then became Access TV when Mark Cuban got involved with it and bought it. And we did a show over in Orlando. We were still constantly doing our shows in Tampa, but then we did a bunch more shows over in Tennessee. And then we did a couple more in North Carolina. Then we branched and we went and did one in Albuquerque. Then we did one in Louisville, Kentucky. And by then we did Michigan as well. So we ended up getting to about 25 shows across the U.S. We were number 2 in web traffic in the United States, just behind the UFC. We had actually beat Bellator and World Series of Fighting in web traffic, which is crazy. So our SEO strategy, we knew we worked. Our marketing strategy, we could unbox in any city. And I was in charge of all of the radio, TV, billboard buys. I booked all of the fighters' interviews on every MMA podcast that I could find that was a legit podcast. I would book the fighters in, so the fighters would have 2 interviews a week leading to their show and stuff like that. So fighters were getting exposure and like media experience like the UFC would give them, which was really, really cool. And back then the UFC was not as big as it is now. Sure. But it's still to be number 2 to the UFC in the MMA realm is pretty crazy. So right around the 21st or 22nd event, we actually got approached by another MMA, not an MMA outfit, but some basically, I guess, management agents, I guess is what you would call it. And they wanted to franchise down into Brazil. So we did that. We franchised over into Brazil, did 15 events in Brazil before we ended up leaving the company, just on some differences that we won't discuss on air. We left the company on our terms, but the company right after we left, within about, I think it was the next show later, the company actually ended up basically folding. And now they're back. I was on the board of directors. I am now just a shareholder in the company. Duke Mountain bought the company and took it public, and they did their first show in, I believe, January, and they got another show coming up down the road, but we are no longer involved. No hard feelings to them or anything like that. It was just time for us to move on. But incredible experience taking an MMA company through the realm. Ooh, little guy has to say hi real quick because it's his bedtime. Say hi, everybody. Hi. This is Tyler. This is my little boy, and Brooke's putting him down for bed for the night. So you want to say, I love you, everybody. I love you. Say, have a good night. Have a good night.
Oh, I love you, buddy. Have a good night.
Going to SeaWorld in the morning? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, we incredible experience with the XFC. They wanted us to move to Brazil. We just were not going to leave family, like our pets, everything like that. And then they were talking with the shows. They were doing shows every 6 weeks, utilizing our marketing and all of our. We could run an XFC show. We know all of the ins and outs about it, of putting on an MMA show, just from our production experience and everything we helped build with them. But they wanted us to move to Brazil. That just wasn't going to work for us. We had family and things like that. So we didn't move to Brazil. We opted to try and work from the US. And then once we left it, we kind of had a feeling that it was time to step out on our own. We knew that we could do marketing. We knew that we could build websites. We knew that we could take companies to be the number 1 in the world based on our strategy, or the number 2 in the world behind the multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company, on very small budgets. We knew what we can make happen for the tiniest of budgets up to the really big budgets. We were basically the project managers of the company, and we knew what we could do. So we said, let's go back to our roots and sit down. Let's pick up a couple clients and rock and roll. And that birthed TBA Marketing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
no, that's cool. I mean, and I tell you what, like, I know that sometimes the experiences of what you've gone through and what you've seen kind of help push into all kinds of, you're able to transition that into all kinds of different industries. You know what I mean? It's like, you were able to make something that was small, locally based, into something that became global, and that's huge. So I mean, and like I said, I was able to witness that. I went to a couple of the XFC fights that were here locally. You know what I'm saying?
Incredible.
Yeah, I was able to like enjoy it, and like I said, you guys made it into something that was lucrative. That was not just. I mean, I know that they were number 2, but they weren't. It wasn't a B show. It was still an A show. You guys had great fighters that were coming in from all around the country, all around the world, to fight there. It wasn't just, a bunch of Tampa guys just fighting. But there's some good guys out of Tampa as well. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to knock the local boys at all because of that, because there were some good fighters out of here and mixed in with all the fighters and, people that you guys were able to bring in as well, because
we made lifelong friends. We made some lifelong friends, and a couple of the guys are still in the UFC. Scott Holtzman's in the lightweight division, and he's sitting in there. They're handing him shows because he's entertaining. He puts on a heck of a fight. Like, he's a good dude. He was one of the best dudes to work with inside of the XFC. Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman, for those that don't know, go look him up. Go like his page. He's an incredible guy. But yeah, and then Michelle Pereira is moving up through the rankings. He's a super showman, incredible dude. His trainer, James David Gray,
Michelle is awesome, dude.
Michelle's incredible. And he's a nice. We met him when we franchised down to Brazil. Nice, just one of the nicest dudes ever. Carlston Harris is fighting for Abu Dhabi or UAE. And he posted a photo the other day. He's a super incredible, nice guy. Nick Newell was the one-arm fighter. He went to Bellator. Great dude. He's got 2 little boys now. I know he's definitely got 1 little boy. But yeah, it's cool to watch all of them grow up, and we kind of grow up with them, and we all have families now. So we still kind of stay in touch with each other. We like each other's stuff on Facebook, and we comment here and there and joke back and forth. And it's cool. Like, the videos will pop up in the history, and it'll be stuff that like Brook and I created with the videography team and said, hey, we want this clip and this clip and this and that. And we put it together as marketing pieces. So when it pops up, it's like, oh man, that's cool. It's a lot of good memories. And like I said, we learned, you learn from your mistakes and you grow from them, but we learned so much about everything to dial in our skills on. This is what we need to be able to do to grow a company from being, local into being an international franchise. So
that's awesome. So cool.
Sipping my whiskey.
Oh no. Yeah. Got the horn handy.
Yeah, that cup is incredible, dude. I love that thing.
Cheers to you, man.
Yeah, likewise. I'm so, like I said, I'm so excited to be able to catch up and just.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. When I was doing the show before, my previous show, you and I had talked a little bit, and you were giving me some words of encouragement, like, hey, listen, I've caught the show. You're doing well. Like, keep it up. And then that show kind of fell off. And you knew that I was still kind of hungry to do a show, and you reached out to me when I was down, and you were like, listen, I know you're going to put the show back on, so get it together. Whatever you need, you let me know. I'll help you with whatever. And I appreciate that, dude, because, at that time I was kind of going through a depression. You know what I mean? 2020 was kind of not the best year for me, and I was going through somewhat of a little depression about it, and was salty, and was like, damn, I really want to do a show, but I don't know what to do, and I haven't done this before, and just kind of your words of encouragement at that time, and you were like, listen, let's get you on, let's get you personally and mentally motivated to get going again. Like, you got to get going again. And
I'm glad to hear. I'm glad I was able to help. And like I said, this is awesome, because sometimes when it's something that you're so interested in and your heart is so in it, but you just don't know what you got to do, you jump in, you head over to YouTube, you do some reading, you head over to, whatever search engine you're on, and just do some reading, talk to friends who are doing it, reach out to anybody who's shown interest in your success and saying, Just any pointers, you know? and if you don't ask, no big deal. You can do all the research, but if your heart is into doing something, I highly recommend that people jump in and do it. So many people don't jump in. We would have never started TBA Marketing if it wasn't for the experiences that we went through, and then people asking us and saying, hey, could you market my company? Like, well, we're kind of full over here, like doing this. And then when things, started to kind of go down a little bit and we knew that we weren't going to be there any longer, it was like, well, maybe we can actually open our own marketing company. So, we went and got our feet wet, and sure enough, we're 3-4 years deep now. So it's one of those things. If you have the inspiration to do something that you love, and you have the will to put your heart behind it and go after it, I think that a lot more people should do that. To take that risk and do something that you love, and start it part-time if you have to. Start it just one day a week and see if it expands from there. Or start it as, especially in these podcast scenarios, like start it once a month if that's what it takes. And you don't need the most amazing microphones and headphones and lighting. Like, just get on your phone and do it. Like, take your interest and build it. You can grow anything you want
from so much, man. It can start from something so little.
Yeah, people need to start putting their hearts behind things that they're doing instead of just going to work for somebody for a paycheck. For sure. I mean, still got to pay your bills. Don't get me wrong, but man, find a day.
There's so many outlets out there now, man.
Yeah.
Like, believe me, I started this and kind of look at it as it's something just fun to voice my opinion on things and kind of just put things out there. I know I'm not ever going to get too political about things or too, much about religion, because that's just, I kind of just don't do that. Those are things I stay away from personally in talking. But I love to listen to people's stories. I love to hear how you were able to achieve what you've achieved and what led you to that place. And, like that's the main thing to the show, is me just getting people on, talking with them, kind of letting them talk about their journey in their profession and their life. And then we go from there and kind of just, shoot it about what you're doing now and what the future holds for you and kind of thing, so.
It's been a fun journey, that's for sure. I mean, if you asked me, 15 years ago, hey man, what do you think you're going to be doing with your life in 15 years? It wouldn't be owning a marketing company and building websites, man. I don't know. I think I intended to franchise a Winter Circle, and even a few years after that, when Brook and I had gotten together, we had said, maybe we'll franchise like a Tilted Kilt or something like that, and we started looking into all that stuff. And then at
the time when we were just getting into the business, all these breweries and stuff craft breweries were just starting to make a hit. And I mean, that was something that we all could have, sat down and talked about. And it's like, I have some friends up in brewing. I got a friend up, up north that he's running his own brewery now, and he started it from just making beers for his buddies and, doing seasonal shit at the house, and was like, his buddies were like, dude, this is some good stuff you're making. Right. Like, you sure you don't want to do this for a living?
You sure you don't want to buy a building?
Yeah. I mean, and he did, and now it's, he's doing well. So it's true. Like how you're talking about how people just need to take that step and just really kind of, not be afraid.
And it's scary, and it is scary. And I tell everybody that it is scary, but that's why you don't have to go all in right away. You can test the waters a little bit and make sure that it is something that's going to be for you. But once you figure it out and when things start clicking and it just feels right, then dive right in.
No, that's cool. It's cool. And I mean, and you and I work now when you guys do your podcast on a different platform than I do mine. And, you've been able to see some of the things I'm able to do on here. I've been able to see some of the things that you guys are doing on your show, and kind of, it like I told you guys when I was on the show, how much of an inspiration you guys are to me, just watching you guys every week. You know what I mean? That I watch the show every week, and I'm on there commenting in your chat room every week and just saying what's up, and dropping a little word here and there in the topics that you guys are talking about. Because I just want to support it, because it's somebody I know, and I want them to know that I'm supporting them the same way that they support me, So super cool that, like marketing business is going well.
Yeah.
I know that the Frick Frack Paddy Wack is for fun right now, but if it
Yeah,
becomes
it is.
something bigger, it's going to be awesome too. So
Yeah, we're coming up on a year of episodes, which is pretty crazy because we had talked about it for years. I think we talked about it for 3 years, and we had said, because it'd be me, Erica, Carlos, and Brook, and I'll drink because I said their names, and you know that's a rule. I'm supposed to say Frick Frack Paddy Wack. I can't call them by their actual names unless you drink. But no, we had sat here and we're all best friends. So we'd come over and like, I don't know if it was Sunday nights that we were cooking out or whatever night we would get together. And of course it leads to us just sitting on the floor and yapping, sitting on the couch and just yapping, sitting outside in the chairs around a fire or whatever, and just talking. And the conversation, because of our wide variety of wavelengths in our brain, goes every which way. And like me and Carlos are just we'll talk about whatever. So we'll take it whatever direction we can, and just to turn it into funny. Well, and then I got Erica and Brook, who are the sarcastic ones. And so it's just really, really funny because our personalities are infectiously hilarious. And we would always say, we're like, man, we'll get 2 hours deep into a conversation and be like, see, if we just mounted a camera to the top of the TV right there and recorded the living room, this could be our own show. So forever we said this, and I tell you, we would say this so often after every time we got into some sort of deep conversation or some hilarious topic or something. And we're like, see, the camera was there. So now I have my security system. So I have a camera in the living room, which now records us. But we joke about it and be like, I can go back and pull the footage. But we joked about it. And then finally, when the whole COVID thing came around, we basically said, you know what? How are we going to hang out if we're not supposed to hang out? And Erica's parents are high risk. My mom is high risk. Carlos's parents are high risk. Like, how are we going to hang out and make sure that we do it safely? But like, we were like, we miss each other. We need to spend time together. And I was like, well, listen, Zoom is $150 a year. We all have laptops. We all have I bought studio lighting to do TBA marketing videos and webcasts and things like that we still plan on doing. I was like, Carlos, you can take one of these lights. Erica's got lighting. She's good. I can take one light. We can all plug in. We all get on the Zoom, and Zoom can pipe to Facebook, and we're good. Let's just name it something and go. And within a week or two, we were on Facebook going live for our first show. No, we had a script, or we had some bullet points that we were going to talk about, but it wasn't much of anything. And it just evolved into, now we've got about 20 or 30 topics that we can choose from, that are like the overview topics that we slot in. So we've got our random questions. We've got two truths and a lie. So we've got several games. We've got a bracket that we play every week where we rank things against each other, and it's just the four of us goofing off and having fun. But then whenever, when the time comes and we can bring in a local business owner or a fellow podcaster or something like that, or a friend, or even just a family member, we'll bring somebody in and bring it in on the podcast and have fun. And we are almost a year now into it. And we kind of looked at it like, oh, we thought it was just going to be for the summer. And I was like, I thought it was going to be forever, but whatever. But here we are. We're almost a year into it, and it's just we're learning. We're learning how to make it better. Carlos has learned how to do full production on things, so he takes it over into a production studio thing and flips in different transitions and whatnot. And sure, we may be doing things wrong. We may be doing a lot of things right, but we're having a good time with it. It's a lot of fun, and the crew gets to be goofy.
You guys are having fun with it, and that's what's most important. We got some comments came in. Our buddy Carlos, actually, from the show, he's like, listen, and this is, I think, to me, saying we appreciate it, don't stop, and I won't. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys. He did say you guys you called out their names quite too often, so he also did say, TJ, you need to drink, bro.
Got it. But yeah, like I said, gotta love what you're doing. If you're not doing something for yourself and making yourself happy, then what are you doing?
Yeah, no, for sure. kind of get back into the marketing side of things. We'll come back to FFPW. I definitely want to get back into that because like I said, I'm a huge fan of the show, so I do want to come back to that. But for right now, I want you to talk about some of the services that TBA provides as a company, as a marketing company. I know that you kind of do all kinds of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even put into words what exactly you guys are capable of as far as the services that you provide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you the whole screen, let you go ahead and talk about the set of what it is that TBA offers. And then if you can kind of give a shout out as to how people can get a hold of you and just kind of where they can find you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, we still got a lot more to chat about because I still want to talk more about.
And Brooks almost got Tyler down.
Okay. Yeah.
They just finished story time.
Bring Brook in, and I mean, all three of us can chat and kind of go over the same things as well. I kind of want to talk to her about the marketing side of things and like her story as well, and what kind of led up to where you guys are at today from her aspect. So I'll let you kind of talk about the services that you guys are providing, and then like I said, I'll get out for the second, and I'll let you roll.
Cool. So our company is TBA Marketing. Our tagline is "Let Your Awesome Out," basically to help you find your awesome and find the things that you're best at and what drives your business forward. We have 4 tiers of our business, is kind of the best way that I can explain it. The first is, of course, the marketing side. We are digitally marketing focused. We do a lot more on the digital end than we do in print, in radio, TV, billboard. Although, like as I mentioned earlier on the XFC side, we know how to do that stuff. So any company that wants to take and expand their marketing into radio, TV, billboard, and print marketing, we can handle all of that. But we are more digitally focused. In terms of the company, our 2 tiers, our two divisions of the company is the marketing and the web design division. I head up the web design division. Brook heads up the marketing side of the division. And she oversees a team that does social media management, branding, creates little video ads, and writes all of the blogs and things like that. And then I'll take that content and anything that belongs on the website, I'll put into the website, search engine optimize, and submit to Google. And then I handle the ad marketing side of things. So I will handle all of the Facebook ads and as well as Google ads and Bing ads. So I take care of those. And handle all of the ad marketing for lead generation and things like that. So we have the marketing side of the business. Then there's the web design side of the business, as I mentioned. The web design side, we develop mostly in WordPress. WordPress controls about 64% of the market now. So we develop mostly in WordPress and a shopping cart system called WooCommerce. The cool thing about WordPress and WooCommerce is that when you are paying for your website, once you pay us and we develop it and things like that, the only thing left that you have to pay for is your annual hosting fee. So we also offer hosting, but you'll pay for your annual hosting. So you own your website, you own your coding, you own everything with it. When you want updates, you can go in and make the updates yourself, or you can hit us up if you're not update savvy, and you can just have us do the updates for you. But unlike say Shopify or some of these other sites, you don't Wix or whatever, you'll pay $30 a month, and the minute you stop paying them, you lose your site. So on the web design side, we don't do that. We build in WordPress, and we can do custom and everything like that. And then we also offer the hosting. The third tier of the business that falls in line with the web development side or the web design side is the web development side. They are 2 different things, so to speak. Web development is custom solutions. So we built a project management portal for one of our construction companies. They basically can input their project, input all of the subcontractors that they want to request bids from, hit a button, and it sends it out. The subcontractors would come in, submit their bids back to them, and it's a whole project management portal for them to build. They've done several things over at the Plant City Strawberry Festival, built a couple of the amphitheaters and things like that. So we built a project management portal for them. And then we just launched a review booster plugin, basically application, which allows businesses to be able. It's similar to Podium, but not as expensive, and has a lot more bells and whistles to it that allows people to be able to get more reviews for the company, and reviews drive your rankings up. So we built that. We built our one that I really, really love. It's called Quick Order, QuickOrder. Quick Order is an e-commerce platform. Basically, it was built when COVID came around and all these restaurants were shutting down and had to move to curbside or to go, and wanted to offer their own in-house delivery. So it's similar to the Grubhub and Bite Squad and all of those, only you can use your own in-house drivers. And if you don't want to do delivery, you could just turn on and be an online ordering platform for curbside or in-house pickup. So it's a really cool platform. We don't rape the company, so to speak. A lot of these platforms are charging 18 to 30%. They mark up the menu 18 to 30%, and then they also take like 10, 15, 20, 30% rate from the order on top of that markup from the business before they cut the business a check. We don't do that. We are fellow business owners. We understand the restaurant industry, as I've talked about some of my experience with my dad's restaurant. And so we built Quick Order. Quick Order is an incredible platform. It's completely custom. You can check it out. It's running at winnercirclesportsbar.com. And I've got 5 other restaurants that we're also running for. So Quick Order is an incredible custom product, but we are building custom solutions for companies now. And it's been really, really good because it helps companies run more efficiently and get the things that they need done instead of having to buy into a platform that maybe doesn't do everything that they need it to do and then paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for something that doesn't do exactly what they need to do. We can custom code it and make it their solution. And then the 4th tier of our business is actually printables. We are a print broker. We have, from our old school days of TBA Productions, we were printing t-shirts, we were printing hats, koozies, flyers, banners, everything like that, pens. We still do all of that. So we have some of the best pricing through using first local and then as well as national distributors. So we do a lot of printables and help businesses be able to get their marketing materials out, get their name out there for branding awareness and giveaways and things like that. So we've got 4 different tiers of the business. They all kind of operate separately, but all together we're basically a one-stop centralized agency for all things marketing and web design in a nutshell. That's TBA Marketing. I don't know much more to say about that, but
no, that's perfect, dude. That's perfect. No, I remember, and you probably recall this as well, back in, I want to say 08 or 09, maybe 08. It was 08, like wintertime of 08. I was at the Colony Beach and Tennis Resort, and I was doing the purchasing for them at the time. And you guys were in the printing business. Like you guys had the printers, and you guys did our sweatshirts that we gave out to the staff that day. Yeah, we gave out to the staff for Christmas, and you guys had to do 250, I think, or so sweatshirts for us, and we handed them out, man. And it was so funny because I remember I sent you a picture, I think, of like 20 people all walking, like for the next, for weeks to come. Everybody was always wearing their sweatshirt. They're like, it's cold out here, I'm wearing my sweatshirt. And it was, they were able to do it. It was part of their uniform, and it was funny because it was cool because it was something that you and I just, they were like, oh, find somebody that can do it. And I was like, you know what? Let me call TJ. I was like, I don't want to call some local guy here that I don't even know and put money in their pocket. I knew you guys were, had a business going, and I knew what you were capable. And
that order was greatly appreciated and we love it, but I will never, ever recommend that anybody own a screen printing business.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
Let me see if I can get Brook in here. Check your audio setting, and then let's just see if you can. I don't know if you're using your computer audio to hear, because you should be able to talk through there. And then I just want to make sure you can hear through there. Yeah, she's because we're right next to each other. So
okay, you're good.
Try that.
Hello.
Can you hear me if I talk?
Hello. I don't hear you.
All right. External built-in speakers, external mic. And then there's that guy. If not, you might be able to use one of my earbuds. Here, try that. See if you can hear. Yeah, and then we got Tyler's in the other room.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you right next to me. But
Can you hear Buddha if we were
Can
talking?
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. All right, let's get her. Get the prettier side of us in here.
All right, hold on one second. Let me add her into. All right, there we go.
There she is, and she just stole my whiskey.
That's okay. She needs a drink now.
I told you to get me a drink
I can't get up in the middle of it.
when you were getting yours.
This is my wife.
Yeah,
She gonna get it and yell at me.
I'm like, Brook, we appreciate you being able to join us. We know you had to put in some work with the kid and kind of get your baby down before you had to jump on the show with us. So I appreciate that on both kinds of things. I was able to talk with TJ somewhat about kind of the whole TBA marketing thing and kind of go through some of the background to TJ's side of it to kind of expand on it, what it is that you two were able to do, not only professionally but personally, which was great. I kind of went into all that and was wanting to get some of your side of it though as well. Had talked about TJ and his education at the University of South Florida. I know you went to the University of Tampa and got a marketing degree as well. And I had asked TJ, like, kind of when you went to school to get your degree, was that something that you looked at first at doing, or was it something that you kind of came upon later? Like,
I knew that I wanted to go in marketing. This is echoing.
It's fine. You're gonna have to.
can you hear me through the computer there?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's echoing really bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take it off. So I always knew that I wanted to do marketing. I started taking business classes in high school, and just as electives. They weren't required or anything like that. And there was a marketing class that was offered, and I took it, and I just fell in love with it. And so I knew from, I think, like 10th grade that I wanted to go into marketing.
Now I know. Of course, he's a little more tech savvy than you are as far as like the web designing goes, but I know you kind of are as well. Like, what were kind of like some of your influences to get into marketing? Like, I know when you said you took that class, were there other things that you started then to follow and kind of get behind in order to kind of push yourself more into that marketing side of things?
I've always been a big people watcher. So I like to see the way people think and why they're drawn to certain things. So
Okay. I'm like,
I don't know. I love
I'll bring you up.
Yeah. I love the behind the scenes stuff, like why certain ads grab people's attention, why certain things work for a group of people and not the other group, like what really draws in the type of person that you're looking to attract. So like we have multiple different clients. They all have a different clientele. You know, everyone says that everyone is my customer, but they're not. You have a specific type of customer for each business. So
No, that's true. That's true.
like I'm really passionate about finding the right type of client for our clients, the right type of customer for our clients.
Now I know you guys have kind of been doing this for like 20 years, each of you, like kind of separately. I know, like you said, you were doing it since 10th grade, and you know, that was not to age you at all, but that was, 15, 20 years ago, we'll say, and what were some of the early experiences when you guys first put TBA together? And, like I said, TJ kind of told his side of things, some of his experiences. And like I said, I just kind of wanted to get like your personal experiences and things that were, driving to you guys once you guys made TBA. I know like back in 2005, he talked about how it was like TBA Productions and what it was that you guys were doing. How, like, in which way were you able to kind of push TBA Productions as well, like on your side of things?
In the beginning, it was a lot of like, it was production. So it was behind the scenes, like putting on shows, setting up shows, running the sound. So that was more of TJ's expertise. I mean, I picked it up along the way. I was still in I was still in college doing my college classes, and I graduated in 2007. So I was still not really big into the TBA Productions. It wasn't what I was passionate about. I did like promoting the events, but I still want to go into more marketing area. So when we picked up, what was it, XFC, and started doing the shows with them and promoting the shows and promoting the fighters, that's when I got really passionate about what we were doing. And then when we opened our own TBA Marketing, it's just been amazing. And I love every day of what we're doing. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. We kind of dug into a little bit, since you mentioned XFC as well. Like he kind of brought that up, and I know back in 2006, you guys kind of linked up with XFC and kind of were some of their marketing team, and TJ talked about how it evolved into their communications team. And we talked about his experiences as far as where the things that he enjoyed kind of helping them become. And I mean, I don't know if you kind of want to talk about like some of the things as well, like that you kind of enjoyed about the XFC experience and what you guys were able to do marketing wise with them and on the communication side of that.
So I kind of overheard what TJ was saying about when he got brought on for website, I got brought in for more marketing. I knew what I wanted to do, like interview the fighters, get them on shows, but his expertise, he's more of an extrovert and talking to people. So he did find the podcast to get them, like to get the fighters featured on, to get our news sources put out to. I came up with like the questions they should answer, the what is interesting to put out in a press release, what is going to draw in our audience. So I really liked seeing our fighters evolved and the fans get to know our fighters. And before, it's hard with a small promotion like XFC to really know who the fighters are, because UFC, they're on TV, you see them all the time, they build that character development. With XFC, you didn't have that, and we brought that to the XFC. So it was really cool to see that grow, because that brings in your fan base.
It does.
So I think that was my favorite part.
And
I like traveling too.
No, that had to be super cool. And we talked about that. Like, I was like, dude, I mean, I know it started off as a little Tampa-based kind of organization that you guys started working for, and you guys were able to, they were doing little shows from here and in Tennessee and at that time. And then you guys were able to evolve it into, the Carolinas, and you guys kind of helped take it to the West Coast. And then it became international. You guys did so many trips out to Brazil. I remember watching so many shows out, and TJ posting and you posting about you guys being out there, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And
it was super cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, what an experience that had to be at that time. And no, I mean, like when TJ talked about it, and you're bringing it up as well, like being able to promote them, get them on the podcast, get people to know them, the fighters, which is huge, because of the fact that a lot of people don't know these fighters. Like, the Bellator now, I think, has kind of stepped it up as far as like on their show pre-fight, like you're getting to see a little interview now with these guys.
Right.
But you guys were doing it way before that. We're able to push.
I liked about us, like when we came in, we saw that need for the character development, for the fighter development, to people know who they were. So that's how you get people in the stands. That's how you get people to watch.
It's true.
We also noticed that Bellator wasn't doing anything with their fighters. Like, who are these people? Like, why should I want to watch them?
No, for sure. And that's the thing. It's like, because nobody knew who they were. I mean, and XFC was, the fighters were able to start getting known. Some of them were known already. So they get to see and know that they were going to be like an XFC, which was a cool idea for you guys as a marketing team, and, you know, to be able to put more of a spotlight on the fighters and let people know who they were at that time. Help push XFT to where it was at. And, you know, TJ talked about how it was like number 2 and, you know, in the industry out here as far as what you guys were doing for them. And I mean, that's huge, really.
And we were number 2 in web traffic because he was amazing with the website, which was really cool. Yeah, a lot of our fighters, you know, when you work for a promotion, you don't want your fighters to want to go other places. And a lot of them have aspirations to go to UFC. And while you didn't want them to go there, you kind of did, because it meant that they were getting recognized and they were good and people wanted to see them fight. So that was part of our, I don't know, character development, fighter development. People knew who they were. They wanted to see them on a larger scale, and they get picked up by UFC. So a lot of them are there now, like our past fighters.
Yeah, and TJ,
which is nice to still get to watch them.
No, and that's cool, because then you have a invested little interest into it, because you do know them personally. It's not like, you know, you just seen them on TV or talk to them, you know what I mean, for a split second. Like, some of these people you guys actually know, you worked with them and got to know these people. So TJ's back in. I will come back in.
See how the echo.
You good? Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
So yeah, I mean, I was just kind of picking, you know, Brook's brain about the whole side of, you know, what it is you guys went through as far as her being in marketing, what led to the XFC side of things, you know, the early times of TBA Productions, and kind of, you know, getting in with the XFC and where it's gone from there. You know, Brook, I know that, you know, TJ talked about life after XFC and what you guys have been able to become. You touched on it just, you know, very lightly about what you guys have been able to achieve since XFC and breaking off on your own, and how excited you are for where the business is and where it's going. I'm going to kind of put you solo screen now and let you kind of talk about some of the things that you guys are doing. And, you know, also, TJ, you didn't go into kind of, or no, you kind of told people how they could contact you guys. But if Brook, if you want to touch on it again and kind of give people a shout out as to how they can get a hold of you guys and where they can find you, and then we'll come back and we'll talk some more, and we'll talk about, then we'll start going into the Frick Frack Paddy Wack webcast. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So, well, we're TBA Marketing. If TJ doesn't already say it, then TBAmarketing.com. And like what we're doing. TJ builds websites, and he's really gotten into custom development, which is custom solutions. He's got the quick order, which I think I heard him talk about. He's done a bidding portal for what are they? Construction people, and they send their subcontractors to bid through the website, to get approved through the website. It is very complicated. I don't know all the back end stuff. But
Go to your side.
but my side of the thing is more of the digital marketing, ad design. And that's what I do. I don't know. How first time explaining it. There's a lot of research that goes in. Like I write the blogs, the ads. He programs the ads. So, I'm horrible at talking this stuff.
No, you're good. All right. Well, I mean, that's kind of. I'll switch me up with you. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she does all the content development and all of that stuff. So, I mean, her job basically has her going to websites to find all of the knowledge and everything that needs to go in to write all of the content creating and then turn it into ads. We've actually tried to bring a couple people on to design ads, and nobody. It's not that nobody can get it right. Nobody can get it the way that she needs it, because she has a specific eye for branding and for the way that things need to look and the way that it's going to look uniform to a customer.
To bring in the right type of client for a customer, or for customer for our clients.
I'm like, hold on a second, you guys are gonna laugh at this, but our boy Carlos is commenting in the chat. He's like, get her a drink.
She's got one. I did get one. I just
Drink.
We know she doesn't do a lot. She's not the talker. That's me.
That's why I said get her.
Because, I mean, it's like before. I mean, when we were younger, you know, she was right there by your side, though, kind of helping promote stuff the way we were, you know, out there doing things. And it was cool that you guys have been able to, you know, produce this into a lucrative business. And you guys are.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to work together.
Work for yourselves, like work together and work for yourselves. Shit, does it get any better than that?
Like our niches, like these web development, I'm marketing, so they fit really well together, and we obviously made a company out of it. So
yeah, it's funny because if I don't ask, like, hey, what'd you get done today? Like, she's basically, if we had floors, if we were in high rises and we had floors, she's on a completely different floor. Like, she is in her own, she's got her own division of the company that she runs. And then I have my own division, and then it meets in the middle in terms of when it gets to the ads.
yeah, and I'd say the things that a company needs, they need if you have marketing that's not going to a good website, then you're kind of screwed. You can't be sending your traffic to a Wix website.
You can, you're just not going to rank.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
The synergy between our divisions is really good.
That's awesome. It's cool that you guys are, like I said, have been able to, you know, do your own business, have done it for 15 years. You know, TBA itself has been around for 16 years now. I think you guys are just going up on your 16th anniversary on it, you know, which is, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Crazy.
I appreciate you guys being able to come on and just talk about the marketing side of things. I know that you guys do that all day, all week long. Anyway, you guys are working. I know people are always picking your brains about it. You know, Brooke, I kind of told TJ, like, that's kind of, you know, some of the format to this show is that I always kind of want to bring in people in different professions and kind of pick their brains and talk to them about all kinds of different stuff. You know, I've had artists on, I'll have musicians on, I'll have sneakerheads on, I'll have, you know, I had a guy who was one of my best friends who was a superintendent of schools, and, you know, I wanted to bring in some good marketing people and kind of talk about that side of things. And who else to bring in but two people I've known and have watched, you know, make their way in the industry and have been able to succeed. So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, thank you guys for being able to do that and come on. And like I said, super cool to watch.
Likewise. Watch your family be awesome. You get to go to baseball games and stuff. We don't get to do that yet.
Oh, that's coming soon, though. You know,
It'll be 4 this year.
Yeah.
We'll keep selling it. This year, I'm 4.
Oh, yeah. Like, you guys are going to have fun. T-Ball's.
He's watching us from the bedroom now.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, T-Ball's kind of crazy, though. You
know? We were talking about
that. You know? And then after that, I don't know if they do machine pitch. Well, machine pitch isn't too bad. It starts to get a little bit better, and then
sure.
Then they start pitching, and then it gets a little bit
more.
So, But yeah, it's fun. It's totally fun. If you guys don't mind, let's talk about the show, the Frick Frack Paddy Wack webcast that you guys are doing. You guys just hit your 41st show this past Thursday. So congratulations on that you guys have been able to push that for almost a year now. Brook, TJ kind of talked somewhat about what the brainchild to what Frick Frack Paddy Wack was, like why you guys even started thinking about doing it. Like it was kind of just you guys were having fun just shooting it around the house at bonfires and stuff like that, sitting around having a drink with friends, and just kind of thought that maybe it was something you guys could do. And then COVID hit, and then it was like, well, let's maybe do this and kind of have fun with it. And it was your guys' way of kind of still spending time with each other without being able to spend personal time with each other. And you kind of want to put some input into that and kind of what you thought it was.
Yeah. Well, our two friends, Frick and Frack, real names, Erica and Carlos.
Well, there we go.
But they are people that we can always just call up and say, hey, what are you doing? And they're like, nothing. And they'll come over and sit on the couch and we'll talk for hours, just random life stuff. And we always said, someone should record us because we're hilarious. It's like when we all get together, it's our personalities play off each other, and it's really cool. So we had joked about it for years. And then when COVID hit, they're like, you can't go anywhere. You shouldn't talk to people who live outside of your house, like in person. They both have parents that they help take care of, and they don't want to compromise their parents or pick up something outside the house and bring it back home. That, we totally get it, but we still missed our friends and we wanted to see them. So we started doing the webcast just for us. And then we're like, well, maybe we could have guests on it. And so now we have guests. Which we haven't had lately because we've been filming our shows during the day because Erica's kids have basketball games in the evenings. So we just haven't done enough pre-planning to get a guest for during the week.
For the middle of the
day.
That's cool. And I was kind of going to get into that, I guess, later about, that you guys are now actually able to be together, in a room and be able to chat about that. But, and I know that was the original kind of mindset to it, because when I was watching the one time and I saw that you guys were all together, and it was like, I want to say like right before the holidays, I think you guys were actually able to be together around each other, like all four of you in the room together for the first time. And I was like, and I had commented like, oh, that's cool. You guys are all together, and somebody had commented in it, and I don't know who it was. It was probably Erica, because I think she's, into watching her, and all of you guys are all watching, the comments at the time and kind of answering back to people. And we're like, this was the original concept to it. Like, this is what we planned on kind of doing, was the four of us all being in the same room together, sitting around a round table and kind of.
Yeah, it's fun even when we were just on our computers together. But there's just that different dynamic when we're all actually around each other. So we end up picking on each other, and other people find it hilarious. So.
It is funny. It is funny. It's funny. It's funny to watch that show from the beginning. Like,
that isn't just him.
Yeah, I'm like, when you guys first start that show, and it's like you guys are all surprised to actually be coming on live. You're like, hey,
something
like,
always goes wrong.
Finally.
Something always goes wrong. Like this last Thursday, we bought the splitter, so everybody's microphone will plug into one and then plug into one audio source. So we're not getting
feedback.
Different levels. Everybody's the same level. If we're all on the same mics, like everything's the same. So We started recording the first 10 minutes of the show or something like that.
We're having a blast.
We're having a blast. And then Carlos looks up and he goes, mm-mm.
No sound.
We're like, what? And he's like, no sound.
I'm like, man, we can't recreate this. This was amazing.
So then, of course, when you go to try and recreate it again, it's not as good as the first time. Like,
and we kept like, hey, we already talked about this, but yeah, you didn't see it because our sound wasn't working.
So we had 10 minutes of talk where it was just.
And it wasn't scripted. We didn't have a opening segment. We were just going to randomly talk about what was going on. So
yeah,
when we re-recorded, we had to act like we hadn't already talked about it. It was just strange.
Because everything else we have done in slides. So I mean, I sent before you.
Yeah, we tried to give an outline of what we're going to talk about. Yeah. Not we're definitely going to say this. But.
Don't read this, but.
No, and I guess that was going to be actually one of my next questions. Like, you guys know I watch the show and I enjoy it, and I'm, like I said, I'm always kind of commenting and just showing you guys my support as far as that I'm watching and always paying attention to what you guys are talking about. Because you guys do a bunch of different topics and stuff. Can you kind of tell, how much prep time goes into one of your shows? Because your guys' show lasts, anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes of you guys just chopping it up, having fun, and going through your topics. Can you kind of talk about how long you guys each prepare? Because I know there's 4 of you, so I know you guys probably break up the preparation a little bit as far as that goes. Can you talk about that?
So we actually we used to have a Tuesday night meeting before the Thursday night show. Is the way that it was. We do Tuesday night 9:30, and from 9:30 till almost 11:30, we would prep. We talk about things and ideas and stuff that went good the week prior, future ideas that we've had, things like change out segments and whatnot. So we would do that, and that would be 9:30 to 11:30, and then it just started to become where it's like, man, okay, this is 2 nights of our week, and for me, I do a lot of my web design at night. Because it's quiet.
And
the phones aren't ringing, emails aren't pinging. It's just quiet. I can sit in and code, throw a show or a movie on in the background and just zone in. So it was taking up 2 of my nights. So we said, hey, why don't we prep the day of the show? So we did a couple shows where we actually prepped that Thursday morning before the Thursday night show. Took about an hour and a half because everybody was in work mode. So now it's like, okay, we need to dive in, get it done, and get in. So we're always texting each other with ideas and stuff like that throughout the week. Because there's 4 of us, there's 4 different personalities that everybody kind of has to be like, yeah, let's do that. And it works out pretty well most of the time. But yeah, and then the majority of the time. And then Erica's kids end up having school. Yeah, he's going to make you go get him. Erica's kids ended up having Thursday night basketball games. And we should put a microphone right next to the earpiece.
I was whining. I couldn't hear it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not going to stop until she goes and gets him.
Oh, no. That's cool. I understand.
He knows he can see the light through his room. That's all. But yeah, so when it switched over that Thursday night, the kids were going to have games. She's like, listen, I can either come on, the game should be done by, 8:30. By the time I get home, it's really close to 9:30. So we can either, I'll pop in, I'll come in as soon as I get home and jump on, or maybe we could start to pre-record early in the afternoon and do that. And we're like, okay, so we've done that for a couple shows. We've done some pre-record, and then all of us will actually be on Thursday nights and watch the show live, which is funny because then we're just cracking up at ourselves. But that allows us to be able to chat with anybody that's watching the show and anything like that. It kind of unfortunately does away with some of the interacting of us with the other people, like while we're live, you know what I mean? Because
sure.
We're not able to, give live shout outs to whoever's watching at that point in time. But our true goal is game nights are supposed to change anyways, or we'll switch to a different night. We're really hoping not to switch to a different night, but do live at night. Probably it'll either be when we build the new house, or we might go out on my back patio, because I might screen in the back patio. We might go out on the back patio and do the show from out there, type of deal. So that way we can all be together, but then we can be together and be completely live again. So,
oh, that's cool.
But yeah, about 2 hours. Takes about 2 hours to prep the show.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll tell you what, people don't realize sometimes what it takes. I mean, I know that I have been, like I said, getting some support from some friends about what it is that I'm able to do. All these things that you see, these screens, this stuff is all kind of me doing it.
Awesome.
I know it's nothing too fancy, awesome. But it's me. It's like, so it does take some hours. The questions that I ask you, I've got scripts and scripts of questions that that we've been going through throughout the night. That's not something easy to do,
right.
It's like
prepping these shows ain't easy. And then you had asked me the other day for the resumes, and I was like, I don't even know where they are. We haven't used them in 4 years. We actually haven't used them in, it's been 4 years, because when we left XFC, and I didn't talk about this much, but when we left the XFC, we actually, as we were prepping to leave the XFC, Brook and I got licensed to be financial advisors under Carlos at Primerica, and we were financial advisors for a year. And while we were working, while we were ending our time at the XFC, the last three months of it, we got licensed as financial advisors, and we're just doing life insurance and things like that. But it wasn't Brook's heart and soul wasn't in it to sit down at the table and go over people's financials and blah, blah, blah. Like, she had a marketing degree. That's, and then we come from sports marketing, where it's like nonstop, 24/7, gotta go, gotta do something to, like, hey, do you want to have an appointment to sit down and talk about your life insurance? Like, it just wasn't for us. Carlos is incredible at it, and I'm so proud of him. But it just wasn't for us. So we had ended up applying at another web design agency here in town, and we worked for them for about, I want to say it was about 8 months. It was almost a year. Worked for them, and it again just didn't end up being for us. We knew that if we were putting in all of the time and effort that we were putting into, that we wanted to make the majority of the money. We didn't want to be making somebody else money while we made, a much lower amount, and we wouldn't be able to achieve our dreams working for someone else doing what we know we're incredibly good at. So, sure. But it did allow us to establish our roots and see that we could be a marketing and web design agency in the state of Florida and do just fine. So, so we ended up after about 8 months, we mutually agreed with the owner that we were definitely gonna do better off on our own. That it was better for us. So.
Well, you talked about Carlos and you guys getting into the financial advising kind of side of things, and I actually in the future I do want to have Erica and Carlos on as well, because I would love to get the whole cast of Frick Frack Paddy Wack and kind of have you guys on, and us laugh and kind of have everybody tell their own side of stories and go through the difficulties that you guys have gone through with the show from the beginning and still even today. Like, you were talking about how just on this past show, you guys taped out 10 minutes and it had no audio. So
every show there's something, every show.
And I get it. And luckily for me, it's just me. So the only one I can blame it on is me. And I'm like, if I did something wrong, like the start of our show tonight, when you first came in and your audio was muted, it was muted because in my monologue, your audio mutes when I remove you from the screen, so that was my fault. And I'll live with it. But I recognized it right away and was able to fix it with it.
No, it's all the little hiccups and gimmicks and things like that. But you watch these talk shows now, and I haven't really watched any TV or talk shows or anything like that. But you watch these talk shows, and man, they have hiccups too. Constant.
Oh yeah.
Constant. Even your stock market channels, when they bring somebody in for an interview or something like that, it's a constant just train wreck. Like I look at it, and we're doing better than they are.
Yeah.
Just like,
well, it's funny because you talk about that, and it's true because I mean, sometimes they make some big blunders, and it's funny because so it's like I would love to have fucking Carlos on because I know Carlos is a super funny character. I know that's why you guys have him with you and just enjoy his company. Erica's super funny, but she's got like this cool dry humor to her to where she like doesn't look like she's really trying to be funny. She's just sitting there straight face, like says something, and then she just sits there and waits for your reaction, like and then she starts giggling, and it's super funny too. So it's like to get you guys all on and kind of chop it up with you guys on here and have some fun with you. It'd be cool as well.
Yeah, it really would be.
Let me see. Now you've gone into some detail about the show. Can you and how long it is for prep time of it? Mm-hmm. Can you kind of go into like detail about some of the particular topics you guys like to discuss on your show? Like I know you guys have things that you guys have set that you guys do. No, I can't say every show because you don't do the same thing every show, but you have a format that you guys kind of follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you could kind of talk about that.
Yeah. So our open format actually ends up being, we've booted it around so many times. But like, let's see, Carlos will do the intro. And then after that, he hands it over to me. I will talk about the segments that we're going to talk about for the night. And then Brook will talk about, she'll explain the game, which is very, very simple. If we all agree, everybody drinks. If you're wrong and everybody else does it, then you drink. And then Eric will have a couple keywords that we work on pushing as the hashtags and things like that. Our segments, we have rotated through endless amount of segments. I think we have 30. There's
some just seem to work well and like get people commenting and talking with us, or they create better conversation between us. We were doing like celebrity focuses, and we'd each take a turn each week and pick a celebrity and do like a background on them. And while it was interesting for the person doing it, it wasn't so interesting for people watching or for the other members of the show.
And it felt like we were reading.
Yeah. So we kind of did away with that segment.
Now, if somebody has a birthday or if there's a very important birthday or somebody passes, like we did a segment on Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
We did a mini segment on
everyone was on that.
But then, so we started kicking into like a focus segment. So the opening 15, 20 minutes is about one specific topic. So we're going to start kind of theming the show around that topic type of deal. And then after the focus segment, we love to do Would You Rather. Would You Rather makes people laugh because it's, would you rather...
That's awesome. That's an
go
awesome
skydiving into the ocean, or would you rather, swim with sharks? And I said, why don't I go skydiving into the...
skydiving into the Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon. Base jumping the Grand Canyon. Would you rather base jump the Grand Canyon or swim with sharks? And I said I wanted to base jump into the cage.
Sharks.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of fun things like that. We do random life questions, and it's actually just a chance for us to sit down and ask each other off-topic, funny, random questions, and learn about each other. So we're still evolving our friendship and learning, some inner questions that you would sit down if we were to talk about things like, one of the random life questions was, what sound or noise drives you crazy? And I said,
people smacking. You're like, I can't stand people smacking.
And it was just, It's just been funny. So we have that. We've got random life questions. Sometimes on occasion, which I really love, Carlos will make a drink or make food. And in one of the days, they were house sitting for us, pet sitting for us when we went out of town for a night. And he came over and he made food. He made dinner at my house in the kitchen.
It's like
And they
some
recorded
this week's food segment. He's like, I'm just going to play this video. And they had recorded it in our house while we were gone.
They didn't tell us anything about it, but yeah, they had recorded themselves making dinner at our house.
Okay.
So I was dying, but yeah, we just have a bunch of we love to do trending. So we don't like to talk about politics either because I will talk about it enough because I don't know. It's not anything that I was ever into until this past year. Until this past year and the last 4 years, just because I don't like the way things are going. But not the time and place. But we don't like to talk about politics on our show. There is enough.
But not anything political.
We'll do trending topics about sports, about life, about whatever other things are trending outside of politics. But we do trending local and national topics, which is cool because then we're talking about stuff that people are also into.
And it takes your mind off of anything serious.
Because social media is all politics anyways right now. So we just get people's mind. That's the whole theme of the show really for our Thursday nights is
funny to have an outlet where people can come watch and get away from all the normal
everything.
stuff.
Their work day, their whatever it is.
Sure. That's why I try to do this. And I actually pick Sunday nights to do mine is because of the fact that I figure it's like a good way for people to end the week. You know what I'm saying? Like like, it's a Sunday night, it's 8:00. I can get on, people can come check me out for like an hour and a half, maybe 2, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on how long it goes with the guest I have on. And just kind of, end their week. There's something for them to kind of watch, talk about, and then they get ready to go back and do it all over again tomorrow and start their off and but kind of give them something to look forward to on a Sunday night because football's coming to an end and it's like then where do we go from there? We got basketball, but basketball during the season is so boring. Nobody watches until the playoff.
Yeah, I don't. Yep.
I
don't watch it.
But
it's like that's what I'm saying. Hockey, I'll watch some hockey, but even then, I don't watch until the playoffs. Like the earlier games don't matter so much.
Right. Well, and sports in general has been so tough this year because now it's like you could practice in the morning and test, and you test negative, and then you go out to dinner, and then because you ate some spicy food, now you're going to test positive. I don't freaking know, but all the tests are so false positive, this, that, and the other thing, and then.
Like on top of injuries with football, like now you have to add the COVID tests and it's very random on who's going to be playing.
Did you play fantasy football this year?
I did.
At all?
And my fantasy was trashed.
It's a train wreck.
Trashed.
It's a train wreck.
And it's not very often I can say that. I've been playing fantasy.
We're always in the top of our.
Yeah, one of my teams is always last place, and the other one is always in the championship.
That's how mine is. I won like the last 7 out of 9 years, and this year I was like 6th. I can't. I was like, I can't.
One of us will win.
Well, and you literally have to stop what you're doing on Friday afternoon to make sure that somebody didn't test positive, so that way you can pick up somebody in time.
Well, sometimes they test right before
starter on Sunday. Yeah, and then that was the other thing. Dad had to open up basically a slot that if somebody tested positive that day, you could jump in and throw someone in. It's like,
oh wow,
it was a trainer.
That's cool. At least certain sites and stuff you can do it up until the time of the game, as long as they don't play. Or whoever you're trying to replace them hasn't played yet. So
right. Yeah. So if somebody tests positive before the 3 o'clock game, you're screwed.
Yeah. You're like, no, please.
Well, the 1 o'clock guys have already gone.
Or the 8 o'clock or the Monday night game. All of a sudden, Monday morning, they're like, oh, and you're like, dude, I was waiting for 20 points from you. I'm 17 points down.
Yeah.
with Frick Frack Paddy Wack, like I know you guys have had some guests on, me being included into them, and I appreciate that. Can you kind of talk about some of the other guests you guys have had on, and like what professions they were in? Like, I know that I want to say a couple weeks after me, I think was the ring announcer for XFC, and he's done other promotions as well. I think the week before I was on, you had your dad on, who's a business owner and has been a business owner for 20 years or so in the community, and he's done a bunch of things with Fins, and I know you guys are tied in with Fins as well, on giving back to the community with TBA. If you could kind of go into some detail about some of the guests you guys have had on, and some of the professions that they've had.
Jessica Mabella.
Jessica,
our friends in interior designer. She did the new Axe Caliber building down in downtown Lakeland. They put an axe throwing. It's like a coffee shop, but they also have beer and wine. But the bays are set up. It's like not like a Top Golf, but basically it's an axe throwing section, bays. But they opened an Axe Caliber down there, and it's really cool. We popped down.
Do the interior design for that.
Yeah,
she does a lot of Christmas tree decorating and interior decorating. Like if you move into a new house or do a remodel, she'll come in and redo your space, and she gets to know you, so it's personal. It's not like she just comes in and decorates it generically.
We had several of Erica's friends on that she played basketball with that are all in different walks of life now.
And they're all over the country.
Yeah. Like one of them is like a GM of a Starbucks in DC.
Yeah, right down the road from the White House.
But she also operates her own charity. So we had her on to talk. We had one of Erica's old coaches on. He's over in Seattle. And we had another one of her friends that is a writer that actually has a couple books for sale on Amazon, and has written, does a lot of poetry and things like that. And
speaking of Erica, I mean, when I was on the show with you guys, and Erica brought up her nephew, and I was like, I'm not sure, and I went back and really researched Killian Hayes and kind of find out who he was, and was like, oh my God, I can't believe I act like I know sports, and I didn't even know who her nephew was.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me, Joe? Like, you really, and then I really started then following Killian and followed his whole, way to the draft, and kind of, wanted to talk with her about that. Like, wow, like he's done a lot, I mean? I know he's from the Lakeland area, and then what he was able to do when he went out to France and kind of has done his thing. And, I think that, when you said she's not a little girl, she's what, 6'2"?
No, she's 6'2".
Yeah, I'm like
6'2".
If she's a baller too, and you guys talked about some of her fellow athletes and some of her coaches, and some of the people that she knows throughout the ways, and
her son's like 6'7".
Yeah,
EJ's 6'7".
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how old is
EJ? He ducks to come in our house. It's hilarious.
I'm like, and he's young still, right?
No, yeah. He's he just turned 18, heading into his senior year, and then he flew out for Killian's draft.
He graduates in May.
He's senior this year. So he flew out for Killian's draft to be with Killian. Him and Killian are very, very close. So yeah, EJ actually might be moving out to basically live with Killian and just kind of experience basketball life. And
that's awesome.
Finish his senior year virtually.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Most of them, a lot of people.
I mean, and luckily these kids are able to do that now.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? In the world that we live in today, I mean,
yeah.
Gavin goes to school every day, and him and Gio both are going to school, and they're both doing their thing, and but they have a lot of friends that are still doing the remote learning, and kind of are okay with that, and Ashley and I've talked about it, and we've talked about how do we ever see now with all this, is there going to be an end to that? Because probably not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like probably not, because there's going to be some people now that are so worried about the sickness and have issues with their family members that they don't want to take the chance of sending their kid to school. If they can do it remotely and they're able to hit all the requirements, they're gonna do that, you know.
Yep.
So,
and that's where my sister Sierra has been, is that she keeps kids at home, and they're doing virtual, and she says that they love it, which is fine. But yeah, Tyler's in school. We can't run a company. We were never going to homeschool him anyways, so we can't run a company and homeschool our child. Like,
sure.
If we're forced to and there is no other choice, then okay. But in the interim, no. Go school, kid.
I get it. Like I said, I mean, you know, Ashley and I were two everyday working professionals that had to be at work every day. I mean, unfortunately, with 2020, you know, in the food and beverage industry and the hit that it took, my services were no longer needed at the company I was at. And I've kind of, you know what I mean, been unemployed for a few months and then kind of got back into the industry, and I'm looking to move up now into a different part of the industry. But we never, you know, I mean, back in March when it all first happened, you know, I was taking one kid with me to work and sticking him in my office, and she was taking the other one with her and putting her in her office. And we were like, listen, get your computer out, get your iPad out,
right,
and get on class and do the work. And I'll bring you, you know what I mean, breakfast, lunch, and we'll hang out in here as much as I can, but you got to stay in here. And
yep.
And my bosses were cool with it, and her bosses were cool with it, because that was the world we were living in.
There's nothing you could do.
that all of a sudden became the world we were living in. Daycares were closed. After school programs were closed. Like, they were like, we're not taking any kids. We're not doing that. Like, schools aren't doing it. We're not doing it. You got to figure it out. You got to either go home and stay home with your kids, or you need to take them to work.
Crazy, because your jobs are still requiring you to work.
Yeah.
And things are still open. Like, services are still needed, but yet schools aren't open, daycares aren't open. No one can watch your child.
No,
You
that's
have
true.
to take them to work with you, or you have to quit work and hope that you get some unemployment or something.
Yeah, that was kind of a big hope and wish factor. And like I said, luckily at that time, my company was cool about it. Her company was cool about it, you know, so we were lucky to, you know, kind of be able to continue to work. And, you know, but that gave me a new respect too for teaching. Not that I didn't have respect for the teaching business or the teaching industry, you know what I'm saying? Educators as a whole, I know, is always a tough business. I never, you know, wanted to go into that side of it. I love the coaching side of it. I enjoy coaching. I enjoy, you know, being a coach and a mentor to these kids in sports, because it's something I have a passion for. So I want to, you know what I mean, relay that passion to them. And I think that teachers are kind of trying to do the same thing. I don't have a passion to teach as far as like, you know, courses go. So it was tough when we first were doing it. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to go to school all over it again and walk through it. Yeah. And it was tough.
And that's the thing. Like, I can be a parent. I can sit and do homework, but me to write out the lesson plan and make sure that
you're understanding and that you're following along, that you're picking up everything that you need to move forward.
No,
those requirements were. It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. And Christy's doing it. Like Christy's doing it. She is she in school now, but he
will go to school this coming year.
But yeah, she was homeschooling. And he loves it, and he's incredibly smart, but she's really good at it. She's really good at being able to teach.
Well, that's the thing. For somebody that's a teacher and has that gift, that's nothing to them. Right. And like I said, I love the coaching side of things, but I you know what I mean, coaching to me is different. Like how to break down a sport.
Right.
It's different. It's just different. Like, you know, it's like I have a little bit more patience with it, because I know that, you know, dealing with it at a young age, and me being at that age, what I was a freaking goofball. So it's hard to coach somebody like me. So I have to look at every kid like they're a goofball like me, because most of them are. They're still kids, like their brains haven't developed fully yet. They don't know.
Yeah, Tyler's all over the place.
Yeah.
He likes to be silly.
Get someone to laugh.
I'm like, but how old is Tyler? He's 2, isn't he? 3? Yeah. I'm like, he's 3 now. Like, he's 2.
But he is. But he's a little. He's like a little clown. It's so silly.
No, that's awesome.
Everything is bowling with him. All things bowling.
That's cool though.
But yeah, no, he'll
be a badass bowler like you and your dad were.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. But everything with him is if he wants to, he'll be a pro. Exactly. Yeah, he is. Everything with him is bowling, or he loves his educational stuff like flashcards and
really into numbers right now.
Yeah, his numbers chart and things like that. Reading books, like he loves educational stuff to expand his mind and learn new things. It's crazy, which is awesome. He's not a video game kid. He doesn't like to sit on a tablet unless it's
bowling.
Yeah, unless it's bowling, because then he's learning how to pick trick shots.
Oh, that's
he's
cool.
Watching the angles.
Yeah, he's watching the angles and how they throw. He watches Brad and Kyle channel, which Brad and Kyle are awesome. Like, they have a vlog channel, and they're 2 pro bowlers, and they basically give you a behind the scenes into being a pro bowler. And yeah, and they're also bowling coaches. But he watches them now, and we've watched every episode. But he watches them to learn how to pick splits and how to work on his form and Daddy, I work on my approach this week on Wednesday at bowling. You what? I'm going to work on my approach at bowling on Wednesday night. I'm going to count my steps, and I'm going to push my hands forward. And I'm like, you watching Brad and Kyle? Yeah. You're 3. You're
awesome.
3. Yeah,
it's super funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So yeah, he has his own he'll have his own YouTube channel this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna put we record all of his practices, so we're gonna put them up because he constantly wants our phone so he can watch them. Kids are hilarious, man. They're hilarious.
Well, it's funny because Gavin has his own little YouTube channel about like his shoe reviews, and we were gonna change it up to do somewhat more of the things he does every day. Like, his shoes are a big part of his life, and he loves shoes. But he works every day at his sports, at basketball, at baseball, and just kind of is constantly watching the games and watching Sports Center and getting stats, and that's something he's really big on. And that's why kind of this format that I'm kind of laying out for him will be something that he'll carry on for himself in the future, because I've been able to have him on a couple of shows and just let him ramble. He enjoys it so much, and we're gonna kind of turn his over to more of a sports based thing than the sneaker side of it in the future.
Cool.
So I mean, it'll be cool to watch Tyler's little YouTube, and I'll
that's what I'm saying
as well. You know what I'm saying? You guys know I'll be on there checking it out, and we'll be, Gavin and I will be clicking on it and laughing and like, oh, look at little Tyler, dude, that's so cool.
It's funny because we found a father and son. There's a father-son trick shots channel, and they do toy reviews, and he loves it. He thinks it's the funniest thing.
The father and son together, and that they're laughing and playing together.
So I asked him. I said, "Hey man," I was like, "You want to make a trick shot channel?" No, thanks.
Well,
all right.
He sees it coming along. He might want to, though.
I was like, all right, we'll just do a bowling channel. I'm like, looking at the views. It's like this one video of bowling trick shots with father and son had 21 million watches. I'm like, come on, man. You slap a couple ads in there. That's like $200.
That's true.
But it's funny because we go to the bowling alley and I bowl with him because I bowl every Wednesday with Dad. Have for the last 20 years since you know me. And I bowl every Wednesday, and we had said as soon as Tyler doesn't need the bumpers, Tyler will be on our team. And then when we finish our games for the night, Tyler bowls 2 to 3 games after us. So we're usually Wednesday nights, man, we at the bowling alley and he's bowling. And if he doesn't get his games in, he's mad. He got practice.
I get it. No, that's awesome. I look forward to that. I look forward to being able to see that.
I just love watching them grow up. It's so fun. Like you posted the photos the other day, you guys out on the ball field and stuff like that. Like,
oh man,
that's the best. Those are the best memories.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's quick because they grow up fast, man. Like,
Yeah.
I know you guys remember, like it was yesterday when he was born, and he's already 3, and tomorrow he'll be 9, and you'll be like, "Slow down, dude, slow down."
Yeah. I was waking up, he's sitting at
50.
the sliding glass door. I know. Yeah. He's sitting at the sliding glass door like he's 50, 60, 70 years old.
He wakes
They're
up
like, what are you
early
doing, buddy?
to watch the birds
Watching the
and the
milk.
sunrise.
Drinking my milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you're going to be doing that
I'm
when
like,
you're
why do
70.
you
Just
wake up so early? He's like, I watch the sunrise and the duckies.
he doesn't make any noise. He doesn't come and get us. And I have a little alarm that the minute the motion sensor goes off, I know he's up. So, and we have a monitor in his room and everything, but the motion sensor will go off and beep the alarm in our room. I know that he's up. I'll check the camera, and he just walks right over and he sits inside the blinds, and he just sits there and he watches the duckies and drinks his milk, watches the sunrise like he's an 80-year-old man.
Oh man, no, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
I need to get him a newspaper delivered or something.
Yeah, right.
With little glasses.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
To kind of go back a little bit to the Frick Frack Paddy Wack show, I'll come up on those last couple of questions that I have for that, and then I'll do this last little questionnaire that I have with you guys. I know you guys changed the format, and we somewhat talked about that as far as you guys now being able to be back together again, just the 4 of you, and we somewhat talked about the guest aspect of things. Are you guys going to plan to still have guests on, or is that going to be kind of a see how it goes kind of thing, and then you guys may do some pre-recorded stuff with guests and just add that segment in as be?
That's the plan, is that even if we are, whether we're live or we're pre-recorded together, or whichever way it goes, when we do guests, I think we're going to go to pre-recording it, so that way we can do it on their schedule.
Yeah.
That will allow us to be able to have more guests on, because one of the hardest things, and I'm sure you know this, is, hey, are you still available? Hey, are you good? No, something come up. And something could come up very last minute, and then you don't have a guest, and you planned all week for that.
There was a few shows that we tried to theme our show around the guest and their profession or things that they like, and then at the last minute we had to substitute the guest, but our whole show was themed around the other person.
I'm like, all right, so welcome, Coach. Don't mind this. Everything's about this interior decorator. Yeah, it's about kids, because we had a teacher on her. So yeah, I think that we're going to go with pre-recording with the guest type of deal. Just for that simple fact that sometimes their schedules don't line up. A lot of people were struggling to do the 9:30 to 11 p.m. because it gets so late, and then Friday morning comes and you got to go to work on Friday morning.
No. Well, and it was funny because that was kind of the reason why I picked this time slot on a Sunday night, because Ashley was like, listen, get on at a decent time to where you can be off and we can still hang out afterwards. You get on at 9 o'clock. Sometimes you're not off till 11, 11:30 by the time you guys are done chatting after the show is over. Like we end the broadcast and I ended on here, and then afterwards I kick people back in, and we're still chatting for another half hour, 45 minutes, just about everything else that we still haven't talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, listen, I don't mind if you do it on Sundays, do it Sunday night, and kind of, get it done early though. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I can do that. Yeah. So, 9:30 to 11 on a Thursday. I'm unfortunately not like a lot of people. It happens to work for me. So every time at 9:30 when my reminder kicks in and says, FFPW has just started, I'm like, boop, and I'm going to go ahead and log onto it and start watching it, because I am available at that time, and it doesn't faze me too much, So I know that, getting guests on, listen, I've had guests even from episode 2 of mine. I had one guest lined up until the morning of the show, and that morning of that show, he sent me a message and said, dude, I'm not going to be able to come on. I'm, having to do something with work. I really got to take care of this. And I was like, oh man. And I'm scrambling at that point and was able to get somebody else on. And luckily I got a good friend who was like, dude, anything you need, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And I think you had commented on that show, and I said something about it on that show. Like, dude, I almost had to reach out to you, dude, and be like, DJ, I need you.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, because usually on Sundays, as long as we're not theme parking or something like that, like usually on Sundays we're just here. We cook out, we get him down to bed, and then once he's down to bed, he's usually done and out. Like I had to go in there. He wanted to hear from her, and then I think he just heard her.
We're never the last word they want to see. They always want to see mom one last time for sure.
Yeah,
I have two of my own that they're like, okay, Dad, I'm going to bed. Mom, come on, you say goodnight to me.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we have our ritual.
9 years old. My son's like, come talk to me before I go to bed, and she's like, okay, and she sits there next to him and she talks to him, and all of a sudden he's out before you know it. And, he rolls over on her and he's like, I'm going to sleep, and she's just sitting in the chair next to him like, okay, dude, I'm out of here. and that's life. They want to hear mom's voice as the last voice they hear for the night, so it's always cool. I was listening to your show the other night, and you guys kind of talked about social media and some of the indifferences that it's having and where it's going. I'm hoping that things work itself out to you. You know, you and I talked about what social media was meant for, kind of the camaraderie and friendships, and kind of staying in touch with some of the people that you're unable to see every day, and still watch them grow personally and professionally sometimes as things are. And, that was the whole aspect of what social media was supposed to be based on, and kind of what we enjoy social media for. It has become very political. A lot of people have drawn a line in the sand on certain things. I try to stay away from so much of that.
Sure.
Kind of, where is it that you guys are planning to go with like Frick Frack Paddy Wack? Is it looking to get its own personal website? Like, is that in the works, or is that in like future mindset?
As of this past show, it is in the works. I bought ffpw.live. So probably by next week, because all I'm going to do is just throw up a quick splash page and then embed the YouTubes into there, and then I'll embed the Restream webcast into it. And but yeah, that's the plan. We have to have a home that somebody can't take away from us. Is the biggest thing. Like, you can go live on Facebook, you can go live on 25 different platforms, but the minute somebody says, I don't like your stuff, I'm not going to allow it anymore, or you use a piece of a song, and we're not going to let you play that video anymore because you're using a song that's copywritten or something stupid, whatever the reason. We're just going to move to our own website where somebody can't tell us what we can and can't post. That's my biggest quarrel with social media right now. Yes. Do I believe that everything that's on the internet should be said and be allowed to be stated and then yada yada? I don't really know, but I didn't think that it would come down to where social media would block people from being able to say their opinion. And I don't like the way that it's being used, and I've actually had my profile is being limited right now. I'm being restricted from creating groups and from creating events. I haven't created a group in the last 6 or 7 years, and I haven't created an event outside of my band's event or dad's charity, or my drum corps. Outside of those 3 things, I haven't created an event that was not one of those 3 things in years. And right now I am blocked from creating groups or events indefinitely, which I appealed. And I think I'm blocked from creating groups or whatever because I'm in groups that are pro one side versus the other. So I'm not liking the social media blocking and things like that. So we have to make a move to putting our stuff on our own home, our own hub. So we will be putting. We'll have it on the website. We'll still go live on Facebook Live and YouTube and Twitch and all of the platforms. But at the end of the day, we really want to drive people to our website. Yeah, and I want to sell ad space.
Yeah, no.
Which will pay for the platforms.
That's cool. Well, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because we were talking about, like I said, I was talking about the fact that I had overheard you guys on your show this past week, kind of, touch on it. And, I just wanted to bring that up and kind of say, like, is that what the future plans are, is for you guys to build your own website? And if so, what is that website going to be? What's the name of it? And just kind of give it a shout out.
ffpw.live.
Okay. No, that's cool. Last question as far as FFPW goes. What does the future hold for you guys, as far as what is your guys' plans with, the website and the webcast, and what you guys are doing with it?
Complete ignorance.
Yeah. We're doing it for fun.
It's just to make people laugh, man. It's that Thursday, to make ourselves laugh. We need an escape. We work. We raise our kid. We bring the best life that we can bring for ourselves. And at the end of the day, we need to laugh a lot more. We laugh a lot already, because that's just the way we work. Like, if you ain't having fun, you ain't doing it right. If the other person in my office is pissing me off, well, I only work with her. So. Besides our other employees, but they're not in an office.
They're not here with us.
But yeah, with FFPW, the whole thing is just a laugh. Brooke mentioned that earlier. It's the escape for a couple hours into a different world, and focus on just the people that you're hanging out with, and those that want to come on and come aboard and jump in the comment section and laugh along with you and things like that. So. We've actually been getting asked by people to do an open forum segment where, like, people can call in and you can kind of ring them in just openly, and have an open section. So I'm kind of open.
I have that capability as well, and I'm still nervous about it sometimes. I did it with a friend a few weeks ago when I had my buddy John on, and towards the end of the show, we were talking just about football, and I was like, "Oh, my buddy Mike Davies, he was like calling me on. He was like trying to video chat me on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like shutting it down, like, bro, you can't. I'm in the middle of a show, bro. Like,
I said
it to him in the comments. I'm like, well, I'm saying it to him live. I'm like, buddy, listen, if you want to get on and chat with us about football, like, let me put the link in the chat, and you can get on." And had him get on, and it was fun because we chatted it up about football, and he jumped right in and started talking about it with us. But you don't know what people are going to get on and kind of say sometimes. It's like it's an open forum, but I mean, I guess you would, even in that part, is like you would want some kind of a delay on it, so that if it's something foolish, you can kind of okay, let's go ahead and kick that, edit that out. And
yeah, no, we like the idea of I like the idea of doing it. I really like the idea of doing like a Star Wars or a Marvel, something like that night, and bringing people in that like that, and then everybody kind of pick what their favorite one was and bring that in, type of deal.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny that you say that, because now my last little segment of the show is going to be a show, like a little bit about kind of what and who's your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was going to ask you and Brooke some questions, like, I got like 9 or 10 questions I wrote out. And it's funny that you mentioned Star Wars, because that's kind of the first place I went to. My first question for you both, on as far as who or what is your favorite, is who's your favorite Star Wars character? TJ, I'll let you go first. Or
that's a tough one. And I say it's a tough one, but it's really, I don't know. I love all the Master Yoda stuff, but I feel like there's not enough of it because he's only in specific portions of it. Luke was always a favorite. And I like far too many of them, but I think that maybe Obi-Wan may end up starting to take the notch now that I'm watching Clone Wars. And we're watching Clone Wars, and then just his storyline coming along. is very, very cool. So I think Obi-Wan is starting to take over as one of the favorite characters. But yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Brooke, how about you? I know you're a big Star Wars fan as well, so I can't,
I have to say Master Yoda's my favorite. I do like the Mandalorian series with Baby Yoda, Grogu, now they've named him. But there's just not, there's 2 seasons of it, but it doesn't feel like there's a ton of character development with him yet. So I've always been drawn to Yoda.
No, that's cool. I was too when I was young. And it's funny because I want to say you guys have both played my favorite character in at Halloween, and it's Boba Fett. I'm a huge Boba Fett fan. Like, I always loved the bounty hunter. I always thought that was such a cool aspect of the Star Wars saga. The Clone Wars was huge with that character and what the bounty hunters were able to do. So I think that was cool. That I think, like I said, I think Brooke, if I recall, you were one year you did a female Boba, and I think TJ, you just did it recently, weren't you? Boba Fett like a year or two ago.
I did a Boba Fett.
And I did
2 years ago.
Captain
You
Phasma.
did Captain Phasma.
Yeah, you did Phasma because it was the female version. Yeah, I guess, and then which was
we
cool.
did. But yeah, I had the Boba Fett costume. I found an awesome costume, and then I found a really sweet helmet. And yeah, all of my costumes I try and get really good ones without going up to like the $500 ones.
We try to make some of our own pieces or piece them together from other things.
Sure. No, that's cool.
Man, I spent on my Boba costume, dude. I printed out the outline because I was gonna do it all in like foam, and they said try it on cardboard first. So I outlined everything, cut it all out on cardboard, went to glue it together, and it was just like
nothing. Fell apart.
I can't do it. So I bought the on Amazon had like it was like the Jango Fett backpack, and I painted it green and silver with spray paint.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was
awesome. Like perfect. All right, your next question for both of you, because I know you guys are both college football fans too. But who's your favorite college mascot?
Brooke, I gotta go with my USF Bulls. So
okay.
I gotta go with my Bulls.
I know you're a Bull at heart. That's why I'm like, I know you're a Bull, but I know you're a huge Seminoles fan. I know you're a Cuse Orange fan. Like,
yeah, I got 3 teams. So
I wanted to see what you would pick if you were gonna stay with your alma mater. And
I gotta go with Rocky.
Yeah, I like the Knowles. I really love their horse.
The horse is
not technically the mascot, but he's awesome.
Okay.
And we have a Dalmatian now. Spotted horse. Spotted dog.
All right, my next question for you guys on who or what's your favorite. Who's your favorite music artist or band? That's difficult for kind of both of you because I know you guys are big music fans. So for you to have to actually pick one, like that's going to be tough. So I was like, they're both big music people. So this one might be good.
Yeah, it's a super.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Iration.
And and I was gonna say Revolution, but still
it's really hard between 311.
I'd end up
portfolio.
If I had to narrow down to one band, I'd be in the 311 range.
And they're so
I'd end up being 311.
Capture a bunch.
I like 311, Revolution, Iration, like. Soja, yeah. That's a tough question.
Like that right
yeah, no.
It's like I wasn't making any music for you.
Now I know you guys, TJ, you're set kind of in your ways of professional teams. I know Brooke, you have some professional teams that you like as well. Kind of who would you classify as your favorite professional team? Doesn't matter what league. It can be football, baseball, basketball, hockey, any sport, any faction of sports as a whole, whatever your favorite team is.
Yeah, I don't really have a. So I used to follow the Chargers. just because I worked at Winners, and everyone always asked me who my favorite team was. I asked TJ who's his favorite teams. He's like, Miami. I'm like, they suck. Who's your second choice? And he goes, well, I used to live in San Diego, so the Chargers. So I started following them. I loved them. It was great. And now they just up and moved to Los Angeles. And, oh, jeez.
Definitely not a bad team again, though. I mean,
Right.
But then we had Tyler as well. So he's like, Tyler's going to be a Dolphins fan. I'm like, well,
Sorry.
my team just up and left. And they basically got rid of all their players. I guess I'm a Dolphins fan now.
Okay, well, I get it. T, I know you're a Dolphins fan, NFL. I mean,
Yeah.
I know your pro baseball teams and stuff are a little different. So I mean,
I was a Mets fan, and then I was a Dodgers fan, and a Braves fan, and Rays fan. I haven't watched much baseball in a while, just because having a toddler, he doesn't sit and watch 9 innings of baseball. It doesn't happen. So now he actually he goes in a playroom and has his own TV. So now he'll go in there and do that. So maybe this year I'll get to watch some baseball. But yeah, no, I think it would end up being in football and being the Dolphins.
Okay, cool.
Is where it would
where
we fall.
I just got a couple more questions for you. This is actually one from Gavin, which was kind of funny that he brought this one up to ask you guys, but it was something that really hit for us as what we were as far as back in the day and to what we are still live our lives of. Gavin's question for you guys was, who's your favorite comedian?
That's got such I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. Do you want to go first?
No.
You can bring up, I mean, it doesn't have to be one. You can definitely name a couple of your favorites if you want to go that route.
I have several, of course, just because I'm close friends with them. But like James Yan, Mike Herlihy are two of my absolute favorites. Every time they come to town, they're the nicest people. I get to hang out with them. Herlihy's hit me up a couple times to hang out outside of just comedy. So they are two of my favorites. When Pedro Lima was doing shows, Pedro was one of my absolute favorites as well. But yeah, I think Dougie Almeida is another really good comedian friend of mine. But yeah, kind of in the realm of those guys, I think is.
Yeah, I was gonna go with James John and Dougie, of course, Mike Herlihy. I think those are my favorites.
No, James is awesome. I actually got to catch James. I think he emceed the show when I came back to Lakeland to your dad's place and watched what's his name? Pauly Shore, I think, came in.
Oh gosh.
And the shit show that he was. But good James God. Opened up the show and James was fantastic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it was like he made it actually worth the night for me to come, an hour and a half from Bradenton to come watch a show. We came out there and he's awesome. I follow him. Super funny guy. I know he has his own show as well.
He's got an incredible show.
Yeah,
incredible show, like full studio.
Like has the full setup. Everybody's doing all the stuff that I'm having to do for myself personally. He has people doing that for him. So
yeah, I'm incredibly proud of his success. It couldn't happen to a much nicer guy. The dude's just awesome. Yeah, he's just a great guy.
Awesome dude, awesome guy. Okay, that's cool. We'll touch on kind of drinks. I know that we grew up together kind of in the restaurant industry, and we've sipped quite a few different things. But if you guys can both name what's your favorite drink, like all-time favorite drink?
Dirty martini.
Yeah. Dirty martini and blue cheese olives, man. That is the go-to any place that I go. If I'm gonna grab a drink and not grabbing like a beer or something like that, then dirty martini, blue cheese olives. But I will tell you, Screwball peanut butter whiskey is delicious.
Yeah, we won a
This has
bottle.
been our one for the week.
Yeah, we won the bottle at a White Elephant,
Winter Circle White Elephant.
and it's
For the Christmas party. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, for the Christmas party.
Oh man.
Yeah, we won a bottle and we're like, we'll try it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing.
Peanut butter whiskey, dude. That sounds awesome. I'm like, I went to Tennessee a few weeks back in November. I want to say actually a few months now. And when we were out there, we got a bunch of moonshine out there.
Yeah.
We got all this.
We have some. Got some in the fridge. Yeah. What did we have last night? Blueberry.
yeah.
It's a blueberry.
I'm like, I have blackberry here. The other night I opened up butterscotch and was just
I got that
sitting up with my buddy and we're shooting.
You ever get the cherry?
And chatting and.
Did you ever get the moonshine cherries?
Oh yeah. They had all that there too. Yeah.
Yep. We took some with us yesterday out on date night. but yeah, no, we get our favorite moonshine is Sugarlands. Sugarlands moonshine is the
brand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the brand. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, we happened to be out actually by this place out by Gatlinburg in Tennessee called Old Smoky.
Yeah. That's the most common. They're the most
yeah,
common.
I'm like, and they had all the cherries and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like they had deals where you buy 6-packs and you get a bag.
Yeah.
And so I bought a 6-pack and they gave me the option of a bag or a blanket. And I was like, fuck, I've got 100 bags. I'll take the blanket. Threw the blanket on my couch. I think it's back here behind me actually as we speak. But yeah,
I love our moonshine, that's for sure. Yeah, but if you find Sugarlands moonshine anywhere around you, buy one of your favorite flavors and give it it's incredible. And then Old Smoky is that's the go-to. I think they're the most widely distributed one.
I believe that
in the US. Yeah, and it's all delicious.
Yeah, I believe that because, like I said, we were by Gatlinburg. We were actually in Pigeon Forge, but Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg are like right next to each other.
I love Gatlinburg, man. I love Gatlinburg. If we didn't have family here, we'd live in Tennessee.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful.
We love Tennessee. Her sister's husband, so our brother-in-law, their family has 2 cabins on 5 acres, 10 acres, something like that. And we try to go once a year. That's awesome. Beautiful. And I
probably have seen pictures. If you guys have posted them, I probably have seen them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So no, that's cool. All right. Last question for you guys. And I know it's probably going to be the same answer because we had quite the chat about this young man earlier. But who is your favorite person in the world? And Brooke, I'll let you go first on that.
I'm going to have to go with TJ. I mean, I know that you're probably like thinking I'm going to say Tyler, but he's a piece of both of us.
Sure.
So there would be no Tyler without TJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
No, and she's right. Like, I hate to be cliche and pick each other type of deal, but we would not be doing what we're doing. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for her. There wouldn't be TBA marketing. It wouldn't be TBA web design, and I'd build little crappy websites. I would never achieve the things that I've achieved because I wouldn't have.
He wouldn't have looked at the marketing side.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have looked at the web design side of my marketing of where it's going. So. And
I think I remember we had gotten in an argument at one time picking up business cards for somebody, and basically it was when we were TBA Productions, and I was like, "This is the life. This is what I'm doing. This is blah blah blah." Not changing any of that. Like, I would have been putting on live music shows. Now maybe I would have been doing it for a massive band like 311 or something like that. Who knows? But I probably would have went down a music route, and instead we went down a marketing route, which led us to the XFC, which led us into opening our own company, into now what we are now, growing this into being. We've both got team members under us. So now we're starting to get to where we're an agency. We're not just, it's not just TBA Marketing, TJ and Brook. It's actually, we have employees, and, and even though we don't have plans to open a like brick and mortar, because it's overhead that is unnecessary in the realm of what we do. without having each other, we would have been on different paths. We would never be, doing what we're doing, and we certainly wouldn't have our awesome little guy. Like he's the best and he's everything, but without each other, none of that exists.
That's true. That's true. And it's funny that you guys say each other, because Ashley and I are the same way. We're like, we love our kids and they're our favorite little people in the world, but without each other, we would have never have been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish as well. You guys have been with each other, 18 years now too. You guys are close to probably 18 years that you've been together. I know you guys have been married, 10, 12 years or something like that. I mean, I know you guys dated for a while longer than like Ashley and I did, because Ashley and I dated for like 2.5 years and then we got married. So, we just, like I said, we're coming to 18 years. We've been together, 16 years married in May, and I know you guys aren't far behind that. I think you guys were right there within a few months of us. So I know, what I'm saying? Like
right around that 18-year mark. Yeah.
So it's cool.
And that's the thing. At the end of the day, you gotta have each other. You gotta have each other, and that's the thing. Like neither one of us, like when we started dating and decided to start dating, when we decided that we were gonna have kids, we had said that we don't want him to grow up, with single parents, because we did it. We both grew up, under somebody's custody, and I don't want that for him. I want it for, I want him to have have us and have this, and and that's the thing, is that we put a lot of focus into each other, even though we're working at the company and doing this and that. Like at the end of the day, it's still all about us. And we had said, like, this year we need to start taking more date nights and things like that, because we don't take a lot of time for ourselves because we're home all day together.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, you spend so much time together. And yes, we do. And we do talk during the work week, but it's not like deep personal conversations.
Sure.
Like I told you, we're still on separate floors of the building.
No, I mean, I know. And you guys are taking care of two totally different sides of the business too. Right. So it's like you're not.
And they meet up in the middle, but
no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool. Like, I know I saw the pictures of you guys going out on a date night last night, which was cool, and that you guys are still able to do that and enjoy yourselves. And that's what's important. That's what's important, is being able to do that and having fun doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just, I'm proud of you guys. I appreciate
Likewise.
You both coming on and, kind of giving your sides to the business with both TBA Marketing and with, Frick Frack Paddy Wack, and kind of just, giving some insight to people. And I know, people need to hear sometimes some motivational things and follow people's stories and kind of get to know people. And hopefully, you guys will continue moving on, and we'll stay in contact. I know that. I mean, I'm gonna kind of reach out to you, and I need some pointers on what it is that I'm doing. If there's some work I need to do as far as this show goes. And
I love this, man. I think you're doing awesome with it. Cool. It's super cool. A little jealous of some of the stuff you got going on.
It's like how I can better it though, and just kind of, I know,
sure,
maybe some of my questions were rhetorical or just kind of, things I need to work on, and how I can maybe help market this a little bit better and kind of get this out there and push it a little bit further. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on, doing that. Right now, what I'll do is I'll kind of step back out. I'll let TJ or Brook, you go first as far as
my step. I see a comment from my stepdad a few minutes ago.
Who, Sean Murray?
Yeah.
You want me to post it?
Yeah.
Sean Murray says you guys are awesome, man. Man, that's so cool, man. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming in, doing, something that I know it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes that we've been on here, and I know you guys are busy and trying to get little man to sleep, and now you guys actually got some free time, so I'll let you guys go enjoy yourselves. And like I said, what I'll do is, Brook, I'll put you on, kind of let you give a shout out to, the business, and if you want to give a shout out to Frick Frack Paddy Wack and kind of, tell people where they can get a hold of you guys and see you guys. And then TJ, I'll do the same thing with you. And then I'll put you guys in the backstage, and then I'll do my little outro, and that'll be the show. And then we can chat again after the show's done. Okay. All right.
Cool. Great. I'm Brooke Alcock from TBA Marketing, and you can find us at tbamarketing.com. And if you want to follow us personally, we have a web show called Frick Frack Paddy Wack. It's ffpw.live.
Or will be after tonight.
Yeah, after tonight, this week, we should be on our website. Yeah, I guess I'll throw it over to TJ.
Can't say much more than she already did, but yeah, TJ Alcock, TBA Marketing. We are TJ Brook Alcock, TBA Marketing. A lot of people think
Super creative.
Yeah, we're so creative. But we are TBA Marketing. We do web design, digital marketing, ad marketing, and custom solutions. So anything that you need in that realm to help grow your business and find leads, hit us up, tbamarketing.com. And then, of course, I am Wack of the Frick Frack Paddy Wack webcast. So check us out. We'll have our website up this week. We're going into, I believe, our 43rd show. So almost a year of doing weekly shows. It'll be ffpw.live, or you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, and all the other places.
That's Carlos's.
That's Carlos's spot. I was going to say Periscope, and then I know that he said, no, we're not doing Periscope. I was like, good.
Oh, he doesn't want to do the Periscope format?
No, he was doing it, but then I think he said that I don't know, maybe they got bought out by somebody, and they're just not doing, I don't know, whatever.
I'm like, I want to say StreamYard just got bought out. This company that I do mine on just got bought out by a company, and I have to kind of do some research into the company that got bought out by us, and just to make sure I'm not, getting, a lot of people trying to bother me about stuff and all that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, I appreciate you both coming on. Like I said,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Definitely. Very, very cool to have you guys on. Have you guys come on, talk about TBA and talk about Frick Frack Paddy Wack.
Yeah, always good to catch up.
Oh yeah. And then what I'll do, like I said, now I'll just put you guys in the backstage, kind of do my outro, and then my quote of the day, and then that'll be the show. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you guys.
See you, everybody.
Yeah, that was TJ and Brook from, TBA Marketing and the Frick Frack Paddy Wack show. Totally appreciate those guys coming on. Like I said, they're super busy. It isn't something that's easy to do. They have their own business going on. They have their own webcast that they do as well. So, for them to be able to take some time out and catch up with me on a Sunday night when I know that they've got so many other things going on, but, TJ and I had talked about this before, and he was just, willing to offer to help me and give me a hand with what it was that I was trying to do. And, was just super excited to get these two on and be able to chat with them. Like I said, marketing is huge. I hope he was able to give you some insight, and him and Brook were both able to come on and kind of tell you some of their experiences and kind of tell you about what it was that they've gone through and some of the things that they've done. And to, be able to do that is huge, because, they've worked hard. They've stood the test of time, and they're continuing to grow their business for the future. So, that's the only way that we can continue to grow, is by looking to keep evolving and keep pressing for the future and what it is that our businesses are requiring and what we're able to do for them. So, thank you so much to Brook and TJ for coming on. Shout out to TBA Marketing. Shout out to Frick Frack Paddy Wack, Carlos, Erica. Like I said, I plan on having you guys on soon in the future, and we'll have a good time, because I know you two are two funny characters as well. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get my quote of the night. Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you. There's people out there that are always going to try to talk bad to you and try to shoot your hopes up of what it is that you're capable of. But you never let that happen, because, if you believe in yourself and if you believe in what it is that you're trying to do, that's all that matters. You'll have local support. You'll always have those people that are always trying to stand there and help you continue to grow what it is that you're doing. Just keep believing, keep working, keep hustling, and, they'll be there for you. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching another episode of The Business Let's Be Real. I appreciate you. You can find me on Facebook under Tony Gonzalez. I'm on YouTube as The Business Let's Be Real, and I'm under Instagram as well as The Business Let's Be Real. So check me out, hit me up. If you got something to say, contact me at any time. I'll try to answer you back as soon as I can. But until next time, The Business Let's Be Real, episode 7, over, out.